Hi, welcome to my video on transformations on the unit circle, part 3. State the mapping rule when transforming a unit circle. So the mapping rule is x comma y map to rx plus h and ry plus k, where h and k are the coordinates at the center of the circle. And this is taken out of the standard form of a circle. State the mapping rule for each. So the mapping rule is x comma y, and r squared is 49, so that means that r is square root of 49 is 7. So we have a 7 times x, and we have a 7 times y. And the center of the circle is 6 and negative 2. So that's the h and that's the k. So that means that that's plus 6 minus 2, because the mapping rule has the what's happening. So the center is 6, negative 2. It means the circle moves 6 right and 2 down. So the plus 6 and the minus 2 indicates that with a radius of 7. And again here, the radius, r squared is 100. So r is the square root of 100, which is 10. And the center of the circle is negative 4 plus 9. So the mapping rule for this circle that maps on the unit circle is the center is 10. Sorry, the radius is 10, so it's 10x, 10y, and the center is x is negative 4, and y is a plus 9. So there's the mapping rule. And here we have it in the general form, so we have to change it to standard form. So let's group the x's. We group the y's. And we move the negative 40 to the right side to become positive. Half of negative 4 squared is 4, so we add 4. Half of 20 squared, half of 20 is 10 squared is 100. So this is factorable as x, half of negative 4 is negative 2 all squared. Y, half of plus 20 is plus 10 all squared. And that adds up to be 144. And again, r squared is 144. So r becomes square root of 144 is 12. And the center is 2, negative 10. So the mapping rule is x comma y. And the radius is 12, so it's a 12x, comma, 12y. And the center x is 2, so it's a plus 2. And y is a minus 10. So this is the mapping rule. If you were to graph using the mapping rule, this is the mapping rule you use to graph this circle. So notice I changed the general form to standard form with the center radius and did the mapping rule. And here, notice we have a transformational form. So we notice a 64, 64, so that means that r squared is 64, so r is the square root of 64 is 8. Notice the horizontal stretch is 8, the vertical stretch is 8, and the center is 1, 3. And the mapping rule is x comma y, which is the unit circle. We're going to map to. The radius is 8, so it's 8x, 8y, and we have a plus 1 and a plus 3. Number 3, state the standard form of each circle. So let's do the reverse. This is the mapping rule of a unit circle map. When you take this transformation and do it on the unit circle, then this circle right here, you have a 2 and a 2, so the radius is 2, and the center is 3, negative 11. So if you put that in the equation of a circle, you got a 3, so that's an x minus 3 squared. The y is negative, so we make it a plus squared. And r is 2, so r squared is 2 squared 4. So there's the equation of a circle in standard form. And standard form is x minus h all squared. Make that an h. Y minus k all squared equals r squared, center radius form. And we have here, so another mapping rule. So we have the radius 6x, 6y, so the radius is 6. So that means that r squared is 6 squared is 36. And the center is, that's a negative 4, and there's no adding on the y, so that's a 0. So the center is x, negative 4, 0 is x plus 4. We change the sign. The y is a 0, so it's just y squared. And r squared is here, so that's 36. Okay, let's continue. State the general form of the circle. Okay, now that means we have to change it to standard form first and then square it all out. Because the general form is x squared plus y squared plus cx plus dy plus e equals 0. And you could have ones here, but whatever you have, you call this A, and you call this B. If you make A and B 1, that you can if you have a circle, because these two values in front of the x squared, y squared are going to be the same. So you can divide through by whatever that number is. And this has to be a plus in order to be a circle. So here we go. We have a radius of 3, and the center is negative 1, 7. So that means the equation is an x, that's a minus 1, so that's a plus 1 being squared. That's a plus, so this is a minus. And r is 3, so r squared is 9. So that's the standard form. Now we're going to change it to general. So we're going to square this by the fast way. Take x and square it. Multiply these two, you get 1x, double it, is 2x. Square 1, you get 1. And we're going to square this binomial. And we're squaring by the pattern of, we're squaring with the pattern is a plus b squared. And the pattern is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So that's a and b, so y squared. Product is negative 7y double, negative 14y. Negative 7 squared is 49 equals 9. And so we put it in order of x squared, then a y squared, then an x, and then a y. And we have plus 1 plus 49 minus 9. So the equation is x squared plus y squared plus 2x minus 14y, and that's 40, looks like a 41. Again, we changed it, we found the radius and the center, subbed it into the standard form, and squared it out, and we have the general form. Number 5, state the mapping rule for each circle. Now, we have a center, so that's the H, and that's the K, and the radius is 8. So the mapping rule is x, comma, y, and the radius, I'll put an arrow on that for the mapping rule. So the radius is 8, so it's 8x, 8y, and h is negative 2, and k is 5. And there's mapping rule. So we take a unit circle and move it 2 left and 5 up and have a radius of 8, then you'll get this circle here. And here we have h is 0 and k is 6 and the radius is 3. So the mapping rule is radius is 3, so it's 3x, 3y, and h is 0, so put 0 there, and plus 6, so the 0 is understood to be there. The center is the midpoint of AB, and the radius is 10. So we got a radius of 10, so the midpoint formula is add up the x's and add up the y. Midpoint is the average of the ordered pairs. So the average of, it's 1, add on 5, so this is x1, y1. This is x2, y2. So 1 plus 5 over 2, and 7 plus negative 3 over 2. So 6 over 2 is 3, and 4 over 2 is 2. So that's, we want the mapping rule, so that's the h and the k, and the radius is 10. So we have x comma y. Radius is 10, so it's 10x, 10y. H is 3, so it's a plus 3, and a plus 2. We didn't ask for the general form or the standard form, we just wanted the mapping rule. Okay, the last one to do. State the transformational form of each circle. First, we get the transformation form, we need to get the standard form. So we have a 4x, 4y, so the radius is 4. And the center is 1, 3, which is the h and the k. So the x minus 1 squared, y minus 3 squared, radius is 4, so 4 squared is 16. So if we divide by 16, we will get x minus 1 all squared over 16, y minus 3 all squared over 16 equals 1. And again, notice the radius is 4, so here the horizontal stretch is the square root of 16, which is 4. The vertical stretch is the square root of 16, 4, because in a circle, the horizontal stretch and the vertical stretch is the radius. And we have a center, which is the h and the k, and we have a radius of 9. So the equation is x minus 6. Opposite of minus is a plus, we square it. The radius is 9, so 9's r squared is 81. So we divide by 81, we'll have the transformational form. The transformational form is x minus 6 over 81, y plus 2 over 81 equals 1. And again, this is a circle whose center is 6, negative 2, because it's the opposite. And the horizontal stretch is the square root of 81, 9. The vertical stretch is the square root of 81, which is 9. Now we have a circle here that's in general form. But notice that we have a plus, but we have 3. A and B are 3's. So let's divide everything by 3. X squared plus, oh, notice the little error here. That's a y squared. Didn't notice it before, now I do. Because if this was x squared, then we wouldn't have a circle. So we need an x squared and a y squared to have a circle with a plus sign. So these end up be dividing by 3, negative 2, plus divide by 3 is 6y, divide by 3 is negative 15. So we need to complete the square. So that's a minus 2x group the x's, group the y's, and move the 15 to the right side. Half of negative 2 is negative 1 squared is 1. Add half of 6 is 3 squared is 9, so we add 9 to balance it. So this is x minus 1 squared. Half of negative 2 is negative 1, all squared. Y, half of plus 6 is a plus 3, all squared. And that's a 25. So we divide by 25 and we will get, so that's an x minus 1 all squared divided by 25. Y plus 3 all squared is 25 equals 1. And again, square root of 25 is 5. So the horizontal stretch is 5, the vertical stretch is 5. Now we have one with fraction. And it's no good to multiply by 2 because I want these to be 1s. So let's group the x's, group the y's, and move the 1/2 over to the right side and make it negative. Now, 3, half of 3, 3 over 2 squared is 9 over 4. So that's a 9 over 4. And we have a negative 5, so take a negative 5, divide by 2 and square it. That's a 25 over 4. So we add on 9 over 4 and 25 over 4. So when we put 9 over 4 here to complete the square, we put it here. When we put 25 over 4 here to complete the square, we add it to the right side. So this gives us x. Notice a half of 3 is 3 over 2 squared. We've got a y. Half of negative 5 is negative 5 over 2 squared. And we add this up, and we can add it up right here, or I can let's add it up over right here. Common denominator is 4, so I get negative 2 over 4. Multiplied by 2 over 2, 9 over 4 plus 25 over 4. And when I add all that up, I'll get a 32 over 4. That's 8. That's a 7 plus 25 is 32 over 4. We get an 8. And we want the transformational form because the center of this circle is a negative 3 over 2, positive 5 over 2. And the radius is the square root of 8, which is 2 root 2. But we want the transformation form, so we divide by 8. So we get x plus 3 over 2 squared divided by 8. Add on y, subtract 5 over 2 squared divided by 8 equals 1. And that's the transformational form. So that brings us to the end of this video, and if you like it, click the like button. Also click the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com. Notice Math Fully Explained is one word. To find more information about me, my videos, and the content. And that's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video was of some help to you. Bye-bye.